My name is Presley and welcome to PezKnits. I hope you've been well. For those who know me, for those who don't, welcome. This is kind of like I post a video at the end of each month to show you guys kind of what I've been working on in terms of like knitting, crocheting, anything to do with like fiber arts, things like that. And so this is for March 2024. I've had a very long weekend here in Australia because of Easter. So I've been very much enjoying having time off and indulging myself in my hobbies. And I hope you have been too, even if you didn't have time off. And yeah, I have a few things to show you, but maybe you are noticing the first one, which I'm wearing right now. So I'm going to start with finished objects. I have one today, and it's the one I'm wearing. This is the Haru V-neck by Soop Knits. And this is something I've been working on forever. And I only just finished it last month in March, and I'm so happy with it. It's actually so hot today. I've just put it on for the video just so that you can see it. I'll take it off later so you can see the details, but look at the color. So beautiful. And I put on a red lip before this before I recorded so it would match, but it's so beautiful. It looks amazing on. The sizing, I did like a great job. I've like learned over time that you really need to make it's smaller than you think, because as soon as you block it, it like doubles in size. So if you make it like a good size before you block it, it's gonna turn out too big. So when I blocked this, it was like perfect. It's meant to be like a touch oversized. The sleeves are like a good length. I like them like this. I don't like them too short. I like them where I'm able to like get a little bit cozy, like that's what I like, and the length is really good. So I'll take this off and like show you the little details. Okay, the yarn that I use, wow, this is really going back because I purchased this yarn like last year in like ages ago, like mid last year. So I think it was called Coringdale, and that's probably not even close, but it's a hand-dyed 100% merino. 100% merino? Yeah, I'm pretty sure 100% merino yarn. I'll have to go and look and see if I have like a tag. I usually like keep like the tags from the yarn that I use, so I'll have to go and look for it. And it's just absolutely beautiful. So wearable, like so simple, so elegant. So I'll come up close so that you can see the crossover detail. Do you see how it like the V-neck crosses over? Stunning. And it's actually so funny because when I first sewed it, it looked really janky. And I was like, I have a feeling after I block it, it will sit flat, because it was not sitting flat, and it was getting like, it was pulling the bottom of this a little bit because you have to sew these two together. And then as soon as I block it, it's like laying so beautifully. And so this is a free pattern, by the way, so you should look it up. And it's just like, it's so detailed and it's so well written, and it's just simple and beautiful, and it's just great when you can really splurge on yarn like I did and then just use a free pattern, and it's just gonna come out beautiful. Or go cheap on the yarn and do the free pattern. It's gonna turn out beautiful either way, but like I felt less guilty purchasing that yarn because I knew I was gonna use a free pattern. And so like in my mind, I'm like, I'm just buying the yarn, the pattern's free, like it's not that much. Okay, in terms of like alterations, the only thing that I did differently from the pattern, I actually cannot recall what needle size it called for. I'm pretty sure I did the same one for like the body, but I vaguely recall that I used one size smaller for the sleeves. But anyway, I did do a swatch and everything, and it was fine. In terms of like the actual pattern, the only thing I did differently is that I did a twisted rib for the cuffs, and also for the neckline. So rather than doing like a regular rib, I did a twisted rib. I guess you can tell. It's not a normal rib, it's like a different rib. And I also did it for the bottom. You can see it's like much more defined, I feel like, than just like a regular 1x1 rib. Like the twisted rib, I think it makes it look a little bit more defined. I don't know. Anyway, I thought that was like a cute little customization on my part. I was like, you know, it's something different. It's like slightly different and only I will know. But yes. Honestly, so stunning. I cannot wait until it gets colder and I can start wearing this. It's like so red that it's like you can't see, like you can't even see the V really, because it's so red. The color is just like so vibrant. And you know what's so funny? When I took one look at this yarn, I was thinking, oh my god, when I wet block it, like it's all gonna be red. Because you know how sometimes there's some hand dyed yarns where there'll still be some dye that comes out when you block it. No dye came out. Like there was no dye. It was like the water was completely clear when I blocked this. I was so impressed. I was like, wow. Like the vibrancy of the color, and like when I like blocked it with water, it like none of the dye came out. It was crazy. And also what was something that's really funny as well, because the OGs who watched my videos before will know and remember. It was ages ago, so if you don't remember, I don't blame me. I actually had to purchase more yarn after the fact because I had one more sleeve to go and I didn't have enough yarn, and so I had to contact the lady and purchase like I think I ended up buying 2 more skeins, but really I only needed one. And it's like dye lots, you know, especially with hair dye. Like, so if you look at these 2 sleeves, do you see what I mean? Like this one is much more variegated and this one is just like plain red. And it's like, I don't blame her. That's just like the nature of hand dyed yarn. But like, you know, they always say, oh, if you're worried about dye lots, if you've got different dye lots, like alternate the skeins where you do, it's like 1 or 2 rows in one dye lot and then 1 or 2 rows in the other dye lot, so it kind of like merges in together. But I actually didn't get an opportunity to do that because I had 0 skeins, and so I had to buy 2 more of the new dye lot. And so now I've left with this. The sleeves are just like I don't know, it's the charm of handmade, you know, garments. I'm honestly fine with it, but it's so funny when I wear it and I like look at my arms like this. It's like totally completely different. Almost like completely different. They're the same color, but it's just like the variegation is so different that it's super obvious. Anyway. But she's beautiful, like totally wearable. I would almost say that this is my very first successful sweater where I'm like, wow. Like I'm really happy with that. And it's so simple, you know. It's very... The statement is the V-neck, you know. There's no sort of textured stitches. Oh my god. There's no textured stitches or anything. It's just plain stockinette stitch and then that beautiful V and then the twisted rib. And it's just like stunning. It's stunning. It's beautiful. It was honestly worth every penny, that yarn. And honestly, the color makes it for me, really. So when winter comes, I'm going to be wearing this like crazy because it's so warm as well. Okay, so that was my one finished object, which I finished in 1 hour. Did I even mention this? I finished it in 1 hour because all I had to do was do a, you know, cast off that V-neck and then sew it. And that's all I had to do. But for some reason, I did not bring myself to do it for the last 6 months. And then all of a sudden, I had the impulse to finish it and I finished it. That's how it goes. You know what I mean? You'll have something sitting there for 6 months plus, and then one day you'll wake up and you're going to be like, I'm going to pick that up and I'm going to finish it. And that's exactly what I did. The next one. Now, this is stunning. So this is my crocheted shawl, and it is called Ziggy Interrupted. Stunning. Isn't it beautiful? So such like high impact, so maximalist. You like, I have a habit of just going crazy with color. I just beige who I like, you know, I love like working with really bright colors. And as you can see, the shawl is no exception. So Ziggy Interrupted by Sandra. It is a crocheted shawl. And so during this month, I had completed all of the granny square panels. So there's 5 of them in total, and I finished those panels. And now I'm working on the actual zigzag motifs, which I crochet on the panels, the granny square panels. And I just, you know, did the zigzag pattern sew on the next granny square panel and then keep on going. And it's like that for the entire shawl. And so beautiful, so gorgeous. The colors, like, need I say less? Like, I think she's going to be absolutely stunning what she's done. In the actual pattern, it calls for adding kind of like tassels at the end of the shawl, and I'm still like thinking in my mind as I'm making this whether or not I want to do that. I don't know yet. We'll see. If you know, if I have like the big rectangular scarf and it's like, because it's already so loud. Like, imagine if it was had tassels as well. I'm like, am I pushing it a little bit? I don't know, but we'll see. When it's done, then I'll be able to decide if I want tassels or not. Absolutely stunning. I've talked about the yarn of this like many times, but in essence, majority of it, the white, the blue, the purple, the green. Yeah. So the white, the blue, the purple, and the green are from Giacomo Textiles, and that's a hand dyer. I think she's based in Australia. I don't know where in Australia she's based. And then just the orange is from the Australian Wool Store, who's also based in Australia. And yes, it's all just like 4-ply. Really enjoying this. Like, I'm like doing this, and it's so interesting. Like, I crochet on this, and I'm like, wow, look how far I've come. Like, since I started to learn crochet last year, like I think it was October, I started to learn, and like, boom, we've done this within like less than a year. I'm working on this shawl, and it's so beautiful. Absolutely stunning. When she's done, she's going to be a showstopper. Alrighty, and then my last whip is a blanket. Note that I've got plenty more whips. I just haven't worked on them this month. And so I'm just showing you what I've worked on, or else it's going to be boring if I show you everything. As I said before, you know, you got those projects in the corner that have been sitting there for 6 months plus. Sometimes years. I am not guilty of that. I am guilty of that. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm guilty of that, and so I don't want to show you all of my skeletons. So I'm just showing you the ones that I've worked on. So this is the last one. It is a blanket, and it's actually for a family member. Since it's like getting cold, I thought, oh, let's make something, like let's start it before it starts actually getting cold, because then by the time I finish it, it'll probably start getting warm again. And it's based on a flag. So I'm going to leave it to you to guess what flag this is based on. I'm going to hold it up. I'm going to try to hold it up. Are you just seeing checkers, like when I do this? The whole screen is just checkers. So yes, that's the blanket, and it's crocheted as well. It's crochet central. It's crochet central over here. I'm just crocheting the day away, all the time. Even though it's called PezKnits, I don't want to hear it, okay? I'm crocheting. And this is, oh gosh, the pattern, it's from, I can't remember. I got it off of Ravelry. It's just a free pattern. Honestly, you can probably, if you crochet, you'll probably look at this and know. It's just like these strips. I do these individual strips, and it's double crochet squares. So I just do double crochet, double crochet, double crochet, double crochet all the way up, and then I'll change colors, and then I'll do the red square, and then I'll do the white square. And then as soon as there's 6 squares, so there's 6 squares in each row, as soon as I've done the 6 squares, then I just sew it onto the panel. And I'll show you the back. I don't know if this is the best way to sew them together, honestly, but it works. It is what it is. I've just done, I don't even know what to call it, but it's actually similar to what I did with my shawl, to like sew together the granny squares. It's just I've used my crochet hook to kind of just seam them together. I mean, it's not the prettiest, but it lays flat. Like, it lays flat. And the yarn I'm using is Four Seasons Marvel, and it is 8-ply. The tag is on my sofa over there, so I'm like looking at it. Yeah, Marvel. And I got it on sale from Spotlight. So it was very, very reasonably priced yarn, and I got a whole ton of it. And so yes, it's based on a flag, and I'll leave it to you to guess which flag. And to add to, like, to give you more clues, I'm doing a blue border, an electric blue border. So can you guess what flag it is? Comment below if you know what flag it is, and I'll tell you if you're right or not. Yes, it's like red day today. It's like all red today. Red themed. And yeah, so that's all I've been working on, honestly. And it's actually so funny. I recently cast on a knitted sweater with a colorwork yoke. Yoke? Yeah, a colorwork yoke. That's what I'm talking about, this area. And then, as soon as I started it, I like got my nails done, which is such a long story. If I can show you, can you see it? And then I can't knit. I can't knit because they're actually extensions, so they're super long. And so I actually can't knit with these nails. And so I've had to like stop working on it. But I've only done like, oh, I'll show you. Let me go get it. Okay. So I only spent a day working on this. So I've completely forgotten the pattern name. I'll put like a picture here of what it's supposed to look like. It's totally beautiful. Free pattern. Okay, really detailed. I really recommend you like all the majority of her patterns are free, and they're really detailed and they're really beautiful. So I recommend you going and looking. Hopefully I've got her name on the screen. And yeah, and this is some yarn I purchased ages ago from Fiber Frolic or the Winter Yarn Festival. Oh my god, I don't know. Definitely last year. And this is from, oh, I've got it. I've got the tag right there. What is it? Let me go grab it. I'm sorry. Okay. I got this from Glen Heaven Knits. Hopefully that's not backwards. Glen Heaven Knits. And this is the 4-ply Bellevue Park. And the orange one is called Foxtail. So cute. I don't remember what this one's called, but I'm not sure if it's in production. I don't know if she's still dyeing this because I actually got this on sale, so it was on clearance. And I ended up getting, I think, 3 skeins of this blue and then 1 of the orange, with the intention of doing like a color work yoke with the orange, and then I would do like the main body and everything else with the blue. And yeah, so honestly, you can see I didn't really get that far. I actually might end up redoing this because, I don't know, because my floats ended up being really loose. Which, have you ever heard of people having floats that are too loose? I know that isn't a problem. Usually the issue is that they're too tight, and then when you try and put on the sweater, it's like so tight here you can't put it on. But like, they look honestly like too loose. I don't know. We'll see. I think I'll keep going on it. Once I get my nails off, I'm going to keep going with it. It's knit on a really, really small needle. It's going to be crazy. And I actually have a swatch here, but of course I can't see it. I swatched... Oh, it is here. So this is the swatch I did just to test the gauge, and you can see how small, like how finely knit that is. It's on a 3.5 needle using 4-ply yarn. Isn't that pretty? It's such a pretty color. I'm like, is it the color I'm wearing right now? No, it's slightly lighter. But you know, with the orange, they've like got the same, I don't know the terminology. Please correct me. I don't know. Like, they've got the same, like, vibrancy. That's like the same tone, but different colors, if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense. But they're kind of in the same family of tone, or of how deep the color is. I don't know. But it should be pretty. I think it'll be really pretty. I've always been a fan of orange and blue, so I think it'll be pretty. And a pat on the back for me doing a gauge swatch, like, honestly. And I think I was like right on gauge. Maybe I was a little bit off, and this is blocked as well. I think I was just a little bit off. It was slightly smaller in terms of the height, but I'm like, I can just always, like, the length of it, I'll just keep on knitting if it's too short in terms of like the length, so that's fine. I was mainly concerned about the width in terms of like the bust and stuff, but that was fine. It was just the length that was a little short. So I'll make sure to do a couple of rows on the bottom, a little bit more than what the pattern calls for, so it's the right length for me. But yes, that should be exciting. Leading up to the more colder, the more colder seasons, I want to make sure that I have enough stuff to keep me entertained until, you know, throughout the entire of winter and autumn. And so I think I have enough. I think I have enough. Watch me bring home more yarn, more projects. I wouldn't be surprised in the next episode you'll see me showing you new stuff, but you never know. We'll see. But yeah, that's all I had to show you. I hope that was interesting. I hope you have a great month, and hopefully I'll see you next time, and I'll show you a lot more stuff, a lot more progress, a finished blanket, a finished shawl, maybe a finished sweater. You never know. Okay, I'll see you next time. Okay, bye.